Hello, everybody. So, my name is Beth Green, otherwise known as Granny Rocks.
And hello, this is James Maynard, otherwise known as Sweet Baby James. And happy to be here and happy to have you with us. And welcome to Lighting the Way.
Could you
Granny
turn
Raps
off?
and Rocks.
Thank you, honey. Could you turn off the volume? There we go. So, tonight, James is sick. He doesn't have his. It's a good thing you're not singing tonight. Anyway,
Just a little under the weather, you might say. You might notice a different tone in my voice.
so tonight I'm talking about a very important question. Do you feel discouraged about your ability to get better in your body, mind, or spirit? I often do.
As do I.
And so tonight I'm going to talk about that and the impact of that and where we get that idea from and is it true and what to do about it and all of those good things. You know, several people have asked, what is the music that I play in the beginning of our shows, the Lighting the Way show and the Magical Improv show? It's, well, I just improvise. And so when we have that little banner up that says we're coming soon, because, see, it doesn't start on Facebook and YouTube at the same time, so we have the coming soon. And so I just sit down and play. So there is no song. It's just what I improvise in the moment that feels right to me for the occasion. Okay, so does anybody out there identify with the idea of being discouraged about your ability to get better?
Oh, by the way, Todd has a comment. Glad to see you. I was worried you were having technical issues. Husky voice. Thank you. Enjoy while it lasts. Muhammad says, Sir,
No, there was another one before that.
Oh, okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Elizabeth says, hello, what a topic. Yes, she sent a heart of love.
I'm glad you
Thank
like
you,
it.
Elizabeth. Yes. Muhammad says, sir, you are speaking as if you are doing commentary on a cricket match play because you were having a bad throat today.
And
That's
now
great.
we had, those are wonderful comments.
And
So,
Catalina says, I do.
so hello, Catalina. I
So
do.
she's answering your question.
I
Do
see
you have
that.
that?
And
Yeah.
hello, Mohammed. And hello, was that Todd? And hello, Elizabeth. And was there anybody before that? Or
No,
did
that
you
was me.
catch
That was me.
them
That was me
all?
before that.
Oh, yeah, Catalina
Oh,
said good
yeah.
evening.
And Catalina did say good evening and send a heart
And
of
Todd
love.
said, hi, Beth and James.
And Todd said, yes, hello.
There we are. So, okay,
Right.
well, thank you so much. And you can
Glad
also
you
talk
caught
to
us
us
up.
on YouTube. Oh, okay.
Oh, right,
So,
there we are.
you know, it's really easy. Those of us who are physically ill have, you know, often years of experience of not getting better. Okay, looks like there is some more comments, James, here.
I see that. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Muhammad says,
No, we're before that. They're
Okay.
ahead of us.
Todd says,
Yeah.
Here, let me do this.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Elizabeth says, I used to feel discouraged, though. With lots of support, I don't feel that way now.
That is really nice.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Okay, can you go back? It's the other way, honey.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
Todd says, I get discouraged sometimes, but it's pretty rare. But I need help with when that happens, so I'm listening closely.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that's it.
So no one has commented yet on, you're not on the correct page for our YouTube channel.
I know that.
Okay. So it's okay. James isn't feeling well tonight. So he has a get out of
I have a
jail
get out of
card.
jail card.
No matter what he
No
does.
matter what I do, hey, he's making a good effort.
Exactly, he
despite
is.
his condition.
He actually was a hero today because we did something different. I actually taught a class on improvisation at the local university, and James was sick, and he drove me there, and he was very supportive and got us eating and all of that.
Yeah.
So this is very dear to my heart. This question. So I know that some of you are physically ill and some of you find yourself more emotionally, but we've all had things where we seem like we can never get better. And sometimes it's so bad that we don't even think of it that way anymore. It's just we've suppressed the whole question. Like, oh, I'll never be able to be in a relationship is another thing. You know what I mean? Because it's not just because of them, it's just because I'm too fat or I'm too neurotic or something. So Muhammad makes another comment.
Muhammad has a comment. Oh, this is for me. Sir, you should have green tea as a treatment for your throat problem. Thank you. I'll take that under advisement.
Okay.
I've been drinking lots of tea, but
Okay,
not
I
green.
really
Okay,
want to get to
carry
this
on.
topic.
Carry
People
on.
are going to hang up because they'll think I have nothing to say on the topic. Well, for some of us, it's just been because we've done so many things and they haven't worked. You know, okay, I was scared when I was a child. I grew up. I was always anxious. I'm still anxious. I've done this. I've done that. I've done the other thing, and I'm still anxious, right? Or I'm still sick, or my brain is squirrely, or I'm always depressed, or I'm always this or that. Well, I'm not saying that there's an easy cure for any of this, but what I am saying is that if we really believe that we are broken in that way, we will not feed ourselves the message that we could get better. And I'm talking about the message of being broken. It's not just like, okay, you're sick. You have a condition. You have this condition, but you're broken. Which means that, take Humpty Dumpty. I don't know if all of you, you may not. This is an English rhyme that we know in the United States. Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall, and Humpty Dumpty did all those things.
Had a great fall,
Had
and
a
all the
great
king's
fall.
horses and all the king's men could not put Humpty back together
So
again.
you take an egg, and you smash it against the floor, and that's broken.
That's a terrible image to grow up with as a child.
That's right. Blanquita says,
Blanquita says, hello, Beth and James, and sends a heart of love. Thank you,
hello, Blanquita. But some of us actually feel that about. Now, I want you to tune into yourself. Do you ever feel like you've been broken and you can't be repaired, that you can't put all those pieces back? Now, on the other hand, let's say you have a statue and somehow the arm gets chopped off and you can glue it back on and it's repaired. It's no longer broken. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, the truth is that all of us need repair. What do I mean by that? Well, I mean we all grew up kind of messed up. Now, why do I say that? After all, I'm a perfect person, am I not?
No, you're not.
Right? Well, it's because we live in the real world. Our parents were stressed. Our parents were what we used to call neurotic. Our parents were depressed. Our parents were anxious. Our parents were scared. Our parents were controlling. Our parents were this, that, and the other thing. They didn't mean to be. They just were. They couldn't help themselves. Okay, so let's say that's the state of affairs. And then we live in a society, you could have been born into a place where there are bombs dropping. And, that's going to be very traumatic. Or into a neighborhood where there's people shooting at each other, and that's traumatic. And so then you go to work, and then all of a sudden, 1,500 people are laid off, and you've just lost your job, and you're 73. I mean, there's so much trauma, and it is so hard. And every time something like that happens to us, most of us have a reaction of fear, and we get involved in kind of negative thinking, and we get more and more down. So what I'm saying is that all of us need repair. What we need is more self-awareness. I'm going to get back to the topic. Don't think I won't. We need more self-awareness. We need more tools to work with the things we know are going on with us. we need to be more honest with ourselves and say, maybe I am having a problem here. Maybe it's not all him. Of course, in our case, it is all him. But you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So we have to start with some self-awareness, some honesty, and we have to be willing to look at our problems, because the first thing that actually makes us broken and hopeless is that we're not looking at ourselves, that we're looking at this and this and this. We're trying to fix this, we're trying to fix that, we're trying to fix the other thing. So for example, and I'm not trying to put anybody down, please understand me. Let's say you have diabetes, or you're going to get it, and you eat sugar and you eat sugar and you eat sugar, right? Is that going to mess you up? Right? It's not because you're broken. It's because you're eating sugar.
Good
So
point.
you see what I'm saying? You're in a habit that is self-destructive. And there is a reason for that, because see, that's how we really feel discouraged, because we get into self-destructive habits and we can't believe we'll ever break through free from them. But we all have little things that we do. We drink too much, we overeat, we stay up too late, we use too much social media, we are too angry, we're too easily discouraged, we're passive, we're okay. Now, those things are true. That's what I mean by the arm of the statue is broken, and so we need glue to repair it. We need to find out what is the problem, where does it stem from, and why are we still doing the things that hurt us? Like, why are we still drinking if we're alcoholic, and have already lost the farm? Or why are we still eating sugar? Or why, whatever it is, why are we overworking? Why are we still wearing clothes that are uncomfortable? And so on.
We have a comment here. Muhammad says, what we fail to achieve and what we get frustrated as a result make us broken and hopeless.
Oh,
Adam.
I really understand what you're saying, Muhammad, but it isn't the lack of achievement that makes you feel see, it's not that you are broken. It is that you feel broken. So, for example, lack of achievement. Let's take that as a perfect example.
Yes.
So if I have an idea in my head that I am going to achieve great things in life, and sorry, James, I just put my hand in front of your face.
Not a problem. You missed.
Or that you have to live up to your father's expectations or your mother's expectations or your culture's expectations or your wife's expectations or whatever, right? So if you try to do something that you're not good at, you will not achieve it. And yet, instead of learning that, this is not in my capacity, what should I do that is in my capacity, right?
Not to mention there could be forces outside yourself that prevent you from achieving that.
There may be, but my point is, whatever is stopping you from achieving it, if you think you're supposed to achieve it, you are comparing yourself to the supposed to be, and then you feel like a failure, and you feel broken and hopeless. But maybe what you should do is stop trying to do what it is you're trying to do, and do something you can do. And then you discover you're not broken and you're not hopeless. You're just trying to do the wrong thing. So what I'm saying is you can be discouraged because you've been to 5 million doctors and they don't know how to solve the problem. And I'm going to get to that. Or it could be that you've been trying to do something that is you cannot do, and you feel the pressure to be that person, and that makes you feel hopeless and broken. Or you compare yourself to other people and you feel hopeless and broken. Or whatever. All of these things can make us feel broken. We aren't broken. We just haven't found a way to deal with this. Maybe I've been on 4,000 diets and I can't stop eating. Well, maybe dieting is not the answer to your eating problem. It doesn't mean that you're broken, that we haven't found the key. but I'm going to get beyond this. But there are a lot of things that we don't know how to fix, but we believe that everything should be fixed. And sometimes things don't get fixed. But we can learn to live with them in a way that doesn't make us feel broken. Just because I can't do this or that, or I have this kind of pain, or I have this illness, doesn't mean that I'm broken. It just means that I have some limitations. And it doesn't even mean that I will always have those limitations. But maybe at this moment I do have those limitations. And then what happens if I start to believe that I am broken? Well, the brain keeps telling me, you're broken, you're broken, you're hopeless, you're hopeless, you're hopeless, you'll never change, you'll never change, you'll never change. I have that too. There's one thing that I tell myself, I can't change this. I cannot change this. I am an empath and I feel other people's feelings and it does me harm. And I look at it and I say, I need to stop doing that. And I don't know. I can't do it. I'm hopeless. It's hopeless. It's hopeless. That means you have to change. Now, Muhammad has another.
Muhammad says, undiscouraged by the repeated failures, we must continue and go ahead, and ultimately we will succeed. This way we can avoid getting broken, madam.
Well, exactly, except we may not even succeed in that, but we can succeed in something. We can succeed in, okay, I tried to play classical music and I got crippled. So then I started improvising and now I can play the piano and I no longer feel broken. See, but if I try to do something that I can't do, then I'm going to feel broken. So I want to go back to that message, broken, broken, broken. That makes us discouraged. That makes us not try new things. That makes us not look for answers. Here is the big thing, I think. Most of us were raised by human beings. Maybe a few of us were raised by wolves or monkeys, but the rest of us were raised by human beings. Human beings don't like to admit fault. When human beings admit fault, that's like saying, uh-oh, I can't make a contribution. I can't do this. And then
There's something wrong with me.
There's something wrong with me, and the fear is the tribe is going to throw me out. When you cough, you can turn off your...
Off.
Oh, it is? Oh, good. And you turn it back on? Great. So, let's say this is the case, that people don't like it when there's something wrong with you that stops you from doing what they want you to do. How do you think they feel about you?
Well, Muhammad has a comment.
Okay.
If my chair's leg is broken, it should not make me broken.
Exactly. But that is exactly the point, and we have to get out of that thinking. So, okay, I'm putting out this question for you. And you think I remember what the question is? I just asked the question before Muhammad said that. I was talking about it's true that people don't like it when you can't do something they want you to do. So, for example, let's say I married in the hopes that I was going to have a husband who could support the family. And he can't do that for whatever reason, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. He can't do that. I'm going to get very threatened by that reality that he can't do something that I think I need him to do. Especially if I'm brought up in a society which says that the man is supposed to be the provider. So let's say I say, oh, this is ridiculous. I'm not going to wait anymore. I'm going to go to work myself. So you think, oh, well, that's very sane and sensible. But is there a little part of me that's thinking, yeah, but I really wish he could make money? because there's too much stress on me. I'm not going to say that because that's a terrible thing to say, but that is really how I feel. Well, and sometimes it's more than that. It's, you're a bum. So now, what are we getting from the world? We're getting a message that it's us. Now, listen to this and let me see if I can make this clear. Much of our world judges us, and we do the same to others because otherwise they would have to change their own way of thinking. For example, I always get angry when James withdraws. Okay, I feel perfectly justified in getting angry because it hurts me, it hurts my feelings, blah, 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 blah. However, what happens is that I'm thinking James is broken because he's withdrawing. So what do you think happens to that idea? That idea, James picks it up subconsciously and he says, I'm broken because I keep withdrawing. Now, if you feel broken, somebody gave you the message that rather than them looking at themselves and their reactions, it's you. Now, let's say you are, to be very realistic and honest, let's say you are married to an alcoholic who is spending the family's money and is putting the whole family in jeopardy and doesn't relate and is withdrawn and is getting sick and throwing up all over the place. Well, I'm not saying that you should live with this. I'm just saying you can make another choice. But if you live with it and you put them down, you are putting out the message that they are broken. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I've got a question for you. So supposing a person has a genuine psychological problem of anger or of fear or anxiety, how do you address that?
Exactly the same way. What you have to do is say, I don't like that behavior. Let's look at that behavior. Let's see what we can do about that behavior. But what I'm saying is, if I put forward the idea that you are broken or this person is broken, they won't believe that they can overcome that problem. If I am chronically ill and you think of me as broken, then you are feeding the idea that I'll never be able to overcome this illness. You'll never be able to overcome your emotional illness. You'll never be able to you see, and overcoming doesn't always look the same. You know, what is very interesting is I have a lot of chronic illnesses, so I've been reading up about people who have been using brain retraining to overcome their chronic fatigue or their chronic illness or whatever. Now, I also have a lot of physical illness, but I don't know how much I believe that I'm broken because I was treated that way for a long time and that I believe that I can't get better. So there's a voice in me that rejects the help from the beginning. Now, I'm not saying that I personally have not tried 100 things. I have tried 100 things. And this comes back to the other point, is if you keep using the wrong thing to fix a problem, it won't get fixed. You can't use a wrench as a screwdriver?
As a screwdriver or as a hammer?
As a hammer, right. Well, you actually can use a wrench as a hammer,
yeah,
right.
Screwdriver.
But we all have emotional issues that have a root. And those emotional issues connect to our spiritual issues, connect to our physical issues, even if we also have physical issues. And if we don't get to the root of those issues, then probably we aren't going to get very much better. But if we believe we are broken, we are closed to the truth about it. We are closed to even finding a solution. We are stuck in a pattern of thinking that we are altogether no good. I will never be in a relationship. I will never be able to tolerate a roommate. I will never get better. I will never, I will never, I will never, I will never, I will never.
Yeah, that's just the way I am. You know, it's never going to change.
Exactly. So somehow or other you got that message. Not that your chair leg is broken and we can fix it, but that you are broken. And you got that message from somebody, and maybe from a lot of people. You know, we live in a society that is broken in so many ways, that doesn't work for so many people. And like the mentally ill get thrown from place to place. I read a fascinating, sad article today about Oregon. This is the state we live in, and I love this state. And most mentally ill people don't get treatment until they get into the criminal justice system, and then they get put in hospitals. So you have to break the law to get help. Other people are ignored. I'm not saying putting people in mental hospitals is necessarily the best way, but what I'm saying is that so many people's problems aren't even addressed until they do something. So our society is not geared to looking at people and say, what can I do to help you? And what is the responsibility of our social system? Who would not be scared living in a society where if you're sick and you don't have any money, you aren't going to really have the medical care you need often. You don't have housing. I mean, all of these things that happen make us very scared to be sick. So we don't want to admit we're sick until we're so sick that we can't do anything about it. That creates fear. Fear creates dysfunction. How? Because we are reactive, we are not thinking straight, we're in fight or flight. All of these things are fears that are created on the societal level. So whether it's you're going to be not taken care of well by your family, or your husband's going to throw you out, or society's going to throw you in the... I mean, I know because, see, there were many years where I was living on, Social Security disability because I couldn't work. I was so sick. And I had almost nothing to live on. And they were always trying to throw me off. And I lived in fear. How is that going to relax me? How is that going to help me to heal what is really bothering me? So I can't believe that the time is coming to an end. But there are things that can help with all of us. But some of us are completely determined to prove that we are broken. And sometimes we're actually even afraid to get well because we're afraid that we're going to be asked to do something we can't do. So I think I better shut up.
We do have one more comment before we close. Muhammad says, we cannot delete or remove the word broken from the dictionary, madam. We are encountering this word in our life so many times.
But we are not broken, Muhammad. We are in need of help. And the people that we think, when I look at the world and I say the world is hopeless, what am I saying? That the people in our world are broken and can't be fixed, can never find enlightenment, can never find love, can never find joy, can never become caring, and can never be kind. And I'm going to act on that belief. And that is very negative, makes us judgmental, pushes us in a state of mind where we're not asking the question, how can I help? Because we've got it decided that the world is broken. So I'm broken, they're broken, it's all hopeless. Let's just sit around and bitch and moan. I have to stop because our time is over. Please come back. to next week's show, God knows what I'm going to be talking about then. I know that I couldn't cover this topic as well as I would like in a very short period of time, but I hope you got something out of it. If so, please like it or love it on Facebook or give it a thumbs up on YouTube, and leave your comments after the show. I will answer after the show, and subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the notification thing so you'll be notified when we're doing another video, and follow us on Facebook, and come back tomorrow night for Magical Improvs, where we'll be playing music to make you happy,
Yes.
and we hope James will be singing. If not, he'll sit there and he'll
Maybe I'll rap in a husky voice.
that's right. And come back next Wednesday. So that's tomorrow night at 7 p.m. And come back next Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. for whatever crazy idea is going to come to me. And please share these programs, because people are feeling this way and they need a glimmer of hope. Let's stop thinking of ourselves as broken. Let's start thinking of ourselves as needing help. Let's give ourselves love. Let's stop trying to do things we can't do. Stop judging ourselves. And let's stop doing that with each other. And let's try to make a better world. Love you.
Amen. All right.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Great